to try it, boy. A little warm, but we got some new jigs and chatterbaits from Mr. JHicksJiggs. He's up in Michigan, and gorgeous, 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 gorgeous lures. So we're gonna throw them out tonight. I actually had a good hit off the dock. I was using the Mr. Thumper is his brand of chatterbaits, and or bladed jigs, is if you may call them that. But he's got beautiful skirt patterns. The Ultra Gill is just, I haven't seen a bluegill skirt like it, I'll put it that way. And I'm a big Z-Man chatterbait fan, which y'all know. I just haven't seen a skirt like that. Anyway, enough talking. We're gonna catch some fish. Love you guys. First, I think I'm gonna throw this Black Widow crawl from Elite Catch. Because if y'all remember in the video from this past weekend, well, you'll see the video, I caught actually a red in the channel on the June bug crawl from our buddies over at Elite Catch. I'm telling you, man, with this pandemic and stuff going on, with this crap going on in the world, you go to I actually heard that it's been the absolute best time, and I don't know how many years they said, for the outdoor community.
Crazy.
The license pandemic. The hashtag pandemic. The license sales have gone up for fishing. And if you go to any local Walmart, I mean, you're lucky to find 20% of their normal inventory. So remember all these guys that are trying to make it in the world of lure making, and some of these guys have done their research, man, and they're absolutely, they're artists. I mean, they really are, and we've tested a lot of them and we know they work. But help these guys out. I mean, we got those chatterbaits and those jigs for $3 a piece on the jigs and $4 a piece on the bladed jigs. Z-Man, I love you, but I still pay $5 a piece for yours. And these are handmade. It's a local, or it's a small bait maker. That's a horrible cast.
They're trying to get you a buzz.
Look at that Christmas tree up there I'm decorating with lures. But y'all, check these guys out. I know everybody all 5 of y'all that are listening to me are on Instagram. And that's where we found these guys at. This needs some oil.
What's up, buddy? Not too bad. Good.
That's pretty setup.
Yeah, we done good, didn't we?
Shimano SLX DC extra high gear. The Lunkers edition. Defender series. Favorite rod. In the good old red, white, and blue. Yeah, it's pretty setup, buddy. Boy, I can't wait to come out here in the fall and fish. No, you're good. You know, when it's nice and cool, wearing like shorts and hoodies, or even jeans and hoodies. Nicely done, Bo. Man, you stole my darn fish. It's okay, buddy. We get to see him. That's all that matters.
Man, you would.
And he split it.
He split it out.
He split it out. Y'all, I'm tired. Yeah, watch your mouth. There are children watching. No, there's not. We got like 6 people on this channel. We appreciate all 6 of y'all though very much. Like we told you, this is more for shats and giggles. And maybe if you learn a thing or two along the way, have a laugh. Who knows? We're not yeah, I guess we are responsible for that. JK has not caught a single fish. Let's see if we can change that.
Got him.
Oh, scheisse. Flip it over, Bo.
Swallowed it.
He swallowed it.
Look.
Darn, son, he did hashtag swallow it. My Lunkers Edition Defender Series favorite rod in the OD green. I just thought it fitting since the pole that the reel that I bought this for initially was PA's, and he was in the service. So it's kind of like an ode to him because he introduced me to the Shimano baitcaster. Something that I should have been up to speed on. All right now. Come on, Tater. Where are you? I need a fish. Gracious me. I need a bite. I've had 2 bites this whole night. Captain Bo told me to go check out a spot he's marked before apparently. Well, I know he has because I've been on the boat with him. We're gonna see if JK can't hook up to a fish now. That's a good sign. Look at that little chunk.
What you wanted right there.
I don't know how well y'all can see that or not, but that's a little chunky fish. There's gotta be. I mean, hey, we finally caught a fish back here, and the day that we did, look at him tearing up the pit, little bitty bitties. The day that we got on him back here, we got on them. It's like one after the other. Mr. JHicksJiggs, check him out on Instagram. Please support your small town bait makers, man. Cannot stress that enough. It shouldn't take a pandemic to get us to support guys in the industry that are making stuff to help us catch fish. I mean, it should not take a worldwide. Look at him, isn't he cute? Look at that little peewee. Bring him up here.
That's Frank, dude.
Hey, little stinky.
Little squirt.
Little squirty word. All right, buddy Rowe, you better set him back in there easy. He ain't big enough to be tossed around.
All right, big man.
There he goes. All right, little dude. Little dude said, people of Earth, thanks for hanging out. We did go out on the water for a little while, and at the time we decided to come back over to where the dock and the landing is. I was like, dude, it's raining, and it started raining. And we did not have the frog togs with us, nothing, but we didn't get, it wasn't too bad because it was just a little sprinkle, and we actually got some fish after that off the dock.
Yeah, it was worth it. Get a little wet.
So what you think about this evening as far as overall catches, lures? What was the bite like?
It wasn't bad.
No, it wasn't.
We didn't realize the storm front was going to come through like it
No,
did.
because it looked good outside. When we got there, it was a peaceful evening.
We'd had some on and off showers throughout the day today, and it looked like it was going to be clear for the evening. But then again, you never can tell, and it didn't really affect the fish, so. Or maybe it did in a good way.
Yeah, and I think it was just slow.
Yeah.
Because I think what I caught, it wasn't until it got dark that I actually caught some fish of value.
Chatterbait, as usual.
Well, yeah, and that was from the dock. But I mean, over when we got to the cove back there behind their house, even back in there, it was all, you were running something. You were running the underspin and the Savage gear.
Yeah,
this little joker's nasty. The pulse tail, my gosh, man.
They come two to a pack, one of which has a pre-rigged weighted hook, belly weighted swim bait hook already in there for you.
And the way this thing sits in this lure, and I know we did like a half-assed, pardon my language, demonstration of this thing, but the way that the hooks, let me see
little clip right here, you guys.
Let me see if I've got mine and give them
what he's talking about.
Give them a show of this thing real quick. Hang on.
It actually clips to the eyelet of the hook that it comes with,
Here, Bubba, give them. Show them. Break this right here down for them.
Well, yeah, here we go.
Yeah, there you
With
go.
the
Break
hook in it, but
yeah,
same concept.
Yeah, that's just a replacement.
It actually hooks through your eyelet here, and when that fish grabs this thing, it comes
pull it off
up
and show them what it does. Yeah, because like you had tonight, and I hope you had that on film.
Oh, I got him on film. It just comes off and rides up the line.
When you caught it the first time, and he swallowed it. It didn't ride up the line like that, but the lure broke loose from the hook, which is what you want, because these things are crazy soft.
They are.
Super realistic. And what's nice, because when you pull them out of the pack and use them the first time, I mean, these things are going to get destroyed. But they don't.
Because of the way they design this
all the way they design. Yeah, exactly.
It breaks away, therefore it's not getting tore up by your hook and weight repeatedly.
Look at the top profile.
So you can actually catch
that, man.
Several fish on this.
Several fish.
And they give you 2 in a pack. So.
And I will tell you that Bo has the record so far. I think you've caught the most fish on them so far.
Yeah.
And I don't think I've caught one on them yet.
You may not have. I've gotten...
I know you've gotten
at least a handful, yeah.
But these things are awesome.
One of which tonight...
Crazy realistic and just soft plastic. And that's what makes
completely weedless? Look at that.
Completely weedless. That's what's gnarly about that cavity up top, is how that hook sits in there. So you don't have to skin hook it or anything. You literally make sure that your belly weight is inside that crevice the right way, and you toss it and let it ride. But Savage Gear.
And that color, man?
Two thumbs up, man. This is actually a shad. This is actually, the color pattern here is actually something you'd find at Oconee.
That greenback.
Exactly.
Tiny bass.
Oconee, because there's a couple guys that go over to the marina next to Mom and Dad's.
Oh, you catch fish with this anywhere, probably.
Well, and that's why this was the only color that was closest to where we fish. And y'all, this...
I like it a lot.
I mean, it works. Yeah. There's your refill.
Does it give us a
now
color?
That one with the hook in it is mine. Don't forget.
Yeah, greenback.
It is greenback.
So it's a greenback shad, I guess.
Well, you know what? That being said, I bet when we go to the coast, I bet we could toss them out and hook up.
We catch fish with this at Oconee, Lanier, anywhere.
Yep.
I bet you. So yeah, these are cool. Get y'all some.
Yeah. So tonight, I mean, I like I say, guys, and you'll see this video will actually be up after Libby posts the Biloxi trip. Yeah. Okay. So we were actually in Gulfport, Mississippi, if I'm not mistaken. But Gulfport's just a few minutes down the road from Biloxi, and that's where we stayed at. And a really, really nice subdivision. And I'm gonna post some pictures on Instagram. And I think Libby's actually the shot you missed by a mile.
Kobe.
Go. Hey, easy.
Any of us, you know.
Kobe, rest in peace, brother. You are still missed. You were definitely a legend. But yeah, so she'll have the video up soon, probably tomorrow, because she's a bulldog. As soon as she gets new footage, I mean, she's on it, and she's got it.
If not tomorrow, it'll be the next day.
If not, I'm sure she'll have it tomorrow, because you took the SD cards home last night.
Right.
Anyway, so Kevin was using the Savage Gear. Like that same minnow, it's called a hot popping frog. I'm not going to go into too much detail tonight about it. Look it up, check it out. If I don't go into detail about it later, but it's gross. We have 2 of them. And we were able to get one of the best color patterns that they had left, because the ones we wanted, all 4 of the ones we wanted were sold out. If that tells you anything, and it's not because they had limited stock, blah blah blah. The frog is badass. Go check it out. The way that they did the hooks. So you think of traditional frog hooks, they just come in and just hit the body. So a lot of times guys will tell you that if you boil your frogs, it softens the body and helps with that hookup. Savage Gear thought of that. You got to go look at the profile of the bait, but as big as it is, and I said I wasn't going to get into it, but it's hard not to. Man, it's hard not to. This thing is beautiful. And
we want y'all to catch big.
It's got the extra long skirt on it, man. And they thought about the hooks. You don't have to boil the bodies on these because they're soft enough already. And they altered the hooks. I'm not going to tell you what it is, because you need to get off your butt and go check them out. I'm not going to tell you what they did with the hooks, but I guarantee you will catch more fish on this frog than you will almost any other topwater frog that I've seen, because they're the only ones that I know of that altered the hooks this much
in our favor
to increase. And I'm telling you, man, oh, Lordy mercy. So anyway, but Luxie, yeah, back to that. It poured down rain all the time, the whole time we were there. You'll see. Actually, Lydia, I think she's gonna have those videos up first, because I tried to film from Georgia to Mississippi. Alabama was most of it, and it was, you'll see. But let's do this. Why don't you talk about it?
Next time we go through Alabama, or I've never been through there, but we're gonna go fish for some bass.
Well, Alabama's not bad, and I don't want to knock on Alabama. Alabama's actually gorgeous.
Saying,
if you're from the South, man,
I couldn't travel through it and not try to hit a bass somewhere. That's all I'm saying.
You remember the causeway? It was like the two in between. We need to find out how to get down there. Where I was like, oh, look at the grass. Right. It only comes halfway up underneath. That's where we need to go to flip our hearts out.
There we go. We'll make a trip of it one day.
But yeah, listen. So, folks, I'm not talking anything about this. And the reason why is because this gentleman here is much more better at doing research than I am. As much as he likes to say, man, I've learned so much from you about this, he has. But one thing that I can say 100% without argue is that when it came to quality reels and quality rods, he's done a lot more research, and he's actually coached me and guided me toward like my first two favorite rod purchases and choice.
They're amazing.
I'm getting another Defender, because the first one I have is just, man.
Yeah, I'm ready for. I'm gonna get another one eventually.
Any of you that see this and you're like, guys, calm down. But no, because we're so used. Look, we're pond pirates. We don't go out and fish big lakes. We don't go out and do tournaments.
Right.
We buy $100 combos from Walmart, and we go out. We rip lips with that. We used to.
Yeah.
But
it's just a passion, man. Like if you don't go, but once every 2 weeks or once a month, then you don't need the best equipment to catch these fish with. We take it much more serious than that. Because it's more than, hey buddy, you want to go fish this weekend or something? You know, lackadaisical. It's like just a event that's nothing really. But
exactly. It was nothing. Let's just, hey man,
right.
What are you doing Saturday? Nothing. You want to go wet a line?
Right.
Yeah, cool. Let's go sit on the boat for a while. And we trolled for some times, but I mean with the most basic
and
baits.
we had a blast.
And caught fish.
Right. But it led us to where we are now.
Exactly.
We never did get to this, so let me see this guy real quick.
Yeah, so again, he's taught me more about rods and reels than I've taught him about lures. And these right here, honestly, if you get the right rod and reel combo for whatever you're trying to target, you can throw a straw in the water on a hook. And if you can jig it right, you're not going to catch anything because it's a straw. But you'll know how to fish the lures that you're going to throw after those bass. All right, you take this and tell these people what you've taught me.
Well, just that, you know, certain things are going to last you longer. Certain things they got a little bit better quality parts in them, or this, that, and the other. You guys know that. You know, you get what you pay for. Like I said before, if you don't go 3-4 times a week like we do, and in hopes of catching something that's, you know, 5 pounds or bigger, we don't want to have stuff that we have to question. So we have things that we know will get the job done when the time comes. And
it's not just rods and reels too. That comes down to the line. Right. And we'll get into line later.
The hooks we use.
The hooks we use. And again,
we put our trust in certain things.
When it comes to lures, yes, I've taught you a few things, but buddy, I'm telling you, when it comes to line knowledge, when it comes to tackle knowledge, when it comes to actual tool knowledge, brother, you have just hands down gone Albert Einstein on the research. You have, and God bless you, and I love you, and I'm thankful for that, because you taught me so much about the tools of the trade and how important they are. I'm sorry, but I want them to know that you're responsible for that, because it's just, man, you put in some time.
Yeah.
You put in some definite time just learning about this, and you've retained it, and we've put it into practice, and it's.
Oh yeah, it pays off, man.
All right, I'm sorry.
You're good.
Get back to the reel, buddy.
You guys, I'm not gonna go into every little thing about this thing. You guys can go on Shimano's website and read every little detail about this thing, but we now have 2 DCs each. We have the Corrado and we have the SLX. So this is just basically a little bit more of a, you know, I guess not necessarily user friendly, but just a cheaper option for you if you want to get into DC reels.
Oh, your camera died, homie.
Sub $200. This is what you want. And in my opinion, you're not gonna get a better reel for $200 or less. That's just my opinion. You know, take it for what you want, or you know, stick to what you like. That's fine too.
Well, you know, and I agree with you, because you can go to Walmart and you can pick up something like that it's ready to fish, you know, and you can spend $60. You can spend, you know, and I wouldn't spend any more than that, because you can get a good, like my Red Max. Go get you a spinning reel set up. Nothing too fancy, nothing too complicated. Get you something you can hit the water with. It's reliable. It's got backbone. Let's see here. Record. All right. And so you can get out on the water and you can start catching fish.
Yeah, and you absolutely
But when
can
you
do
get
that.
in, when you get into, again, like I said a minute ago, when you come out of the hobby aspect of it, and you really want to get into the sport of it, because Bo and I eventually want to get to where we can go to Jackson Lake or Oconee and fish tournaments, or we can just, our next step is the bass boat, and so we can get away from the same background for you guys all the time, and
just go fish different water.
And go fish different water. We can broaden our horizons, better our knowledge,
Chase
that kind of thing. It just, I mean, it's stages. But once you change from that hobby aspect of it, and you start getting into the, all right, well, look, we've caught said weight. We've caught said weight. My highest so far is 914. It's the one I still have to get mounted. Yeah, it's 2 ounces from 10 pounds, but when I tell people that my PB is a 9-pound fish, I don't even give them the 14 ounces. Doesn't matter, because I have not caught a true double digit yet, and I'm not robbing myself of that.
Yeah, no.
But see, when you get to the sport aspect,
I'd be proud of every ounce
and
over 9
and I am, and I am, and I'll
You know
tell them
what I
it's a
mean?
914. Sometimes it just depends on what comes up, what my brain processes. But when you get to where, okay, so now I'm going for that 11 pounder, because if I chase an 11, I just might get that 10 and a half.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta make sure that you have that winch and you've got that branch that you can just tug that monkey out of the water with, because it's gonna become a fight.
Yep.
It's gonna become a fight, and I gotta tell you that $90 lose combo from Walmart tugged out that 914.
It did.
But again, I had the season on my side, because the water was just dead cold. It was calm. The fish were lethargic. This fish was sitting somewhere, posted up, and I happened to throw a chatterbait right in front of her.
Right.
And all she had to do was open her mouth, and the suction pulled that thing in.
Yep.
And when she shut that garage door of a mouth she had, all I had to do was tug on it.
Wham.
First bump, set the hook, boom. And then, all honesty, we weren't 10 yards from her.
No,
I mean, we
weren't.
pulled her into the boat. So,
Quickly.
again, that's not to say that if I had a lure out somewhere or she was deep, that lure could have handled that. I'm not saying that it couldn't have.
I'm not gonna say it
But
won't,
I don't want to toss the coin when I'm out there and I get a hook set like that.
What I will say confidently is, yes, a lose will absolutely catch, big fish.
But again, there's a difference between a Walmart rod and reel setup, and y'all gotta understand that. You can go to Walmart like I did and find an Abu Garcia. I found a Black Max, or let's just do this. So
the Black Max will catch big fish too.
It will, but see, the lose that I have is no certain.
It will not last.
It's no certain series.
It just won't.
I got the Black Max combo from Walmart, and it was like $70, $80. The Walmart version of the Black Max reel versus, like, say, the Tackle Warehouse version of the Black Max reel are two different versions. And yes, it's the same reel. Yes, it's the same series. But if you go out and you field test the difference between the two, the internals are what matter. So you have some that are made with a little bit less expensive materials on the inside, even though that name is on the outside. That's why they sell it to you for $100. But you go to Tackle Warehouse and you get the Swiss-made Abu Garcia.
Right, top of the line.
You get the ODM stuff or OEM stuff, excuse me, and it's going to cost you $150 or $200. it's worth every penny if you get into the sports side of it. So, and show them what this puppy looks like.
So you got the matte black finish.
Matte black.
Which I heard stands up really well to, you know, just.
And then it's still
wear.
the Hagane body.
It is the Hagane frame here.
Yep.
And then it's got, you know, your DC stuffs in here as well. So it's a little wide, but it's still very low.
And these are the extra high gear.
8-2-1.
Yeah, let me see if I can get that to focus. 8-2-1. Yeah. And then it's got the blue accents all over it with the matte black finish and the Shimano grips, which are
awesome.
The best out there.
They are.
You just wet or shine. You just don't lose grip of them.
Nope.
No. And of course the blue spool.
And you can see watch the hole there, and you can see how many times it goes around per crank.
Well, it's got the extended handle too, which helps. But yeah, it's gnarly.
It's a fast reel.
It's a fast reel. Yep. All right, big shout out to Mr. JHicksJiggs. He is based out of Michigan, and one thing Bo and I were talking about earlier tonight on the water was, guys, if y'all go to Walmart or any of your local sporting goods stores and look for any kind of fishing material, it's hard to find the stuff that you could normally find back last year this time. And you're like, all right, summertime, I'm going to find said what? And you walk into Walmart or wherever, Academy, Dick's, and you just go pick up your lures, check out, go home and fish, catch fish. Not anymore. Because a lot of that stuff that you guys are fishing with comes from overseas. So there is a crazy weight on stuff coming over on the slow boat, or it's just not coming at all right now.
Right.
Sorry, I don't mean to blind you.
Well, they got the holes in them too. That's a cool design.
Yeah, so they've got the holes in them. Okay.
And they start immediately.
Immediately.
And that's what you want, people. You want a bladed jig that's going to start thumping
I'm so glad that you threw one and that you just brought that up, because that's one thing that we noticed about the Thunder Cricket and the chatterbait.
Yeah.
Was that the Thunder Cricket definitely starts kicking the second.
Well, it just takes less.
It takes a lot less. These, I mean.
So maybe with a stiffer rod and all, I think the Z-Man, like a regular chatterbait, will start kicking sooner with the right equipment.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. It's like it does on the Emperor.
Right.
As soon as I click that bail, it's coming.
But yeah, we noticed that with these. And that's what you want.
Here's one thing I noticed that, and Mr. Hicks might have thought of this himself, but this is a pretty decent gauge steel here. And yeah, it's got the holes in it, which the holes, if you try to crank down on this thing, on the Z-Mans you can. It just runs and it vibrates real hard. It comes up in the water column. But these, if you try to crank down on them, it starts rolling the entire bait. So it kills the presentation. You can fish these crazy slow. They will sink. So be careful. Like tonight at the dock, I kept casting out past the dock where that drop off is, and I was golden until I got to the grass, because it was just we got a bunch. It was just keeping down, but they catch fish.
Yeah,
and you know what? Nobody has jigs now. Nobody does, except Mr. J Hicks, and we're gonna continue to get these. But the one thing about the blades that I noticed was I wanted to see if I could fish it any slower. So on the Z-Mans, they come straight. And you can bend that top cap back a little bit, and you can fish it slower.
Right.
These, you got to have pliers.
You're not bending that with your
tried
hand.
to bend.
No.
No. Mr. Hicks went with a piece of steel that, brother, if you want to bend this, put it in a bench vise and get some pliers and get your angle. You ain't doing it on the water. It's not going to happen.
No.
But the other thing too is that,
like I noticed, it starts thumping immediately. I don't need to alter it.
No, you don't. And again, you can fish it slow as crap because of the holes that he's got in it. So you don't need to bend it. As far as weed coverage, okay. So with any chatterbait, you're gonna get some grass on that hook every now and then, because regardless of what you put on as a trailer, it's an exposed hook. You got the skirt, which helps. The blades on this, one of my biggest concerns fishing from the dock was how well is it going to pull through that grass? Is it going to cut? Is it going to move most of it? Again, the vibration off that blade, how it displaces water. The only thing that I had grass on every now and then when I slowed down my reel was the hook. I didn't have any wrapped up around the top of the blade, anything like that. So it's moving vegetation out of the way. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Very, very freaking cool. And
Well made,
I'm stoked
man.
about fall to throw those mud bugs, man.
For sure.
Super stoked. And we need some clear weather and some sunshine, because that little speckled bait fish, that's any water. It's white. It's got some black pepper in there with a little bit of iridescent, and it's
green flash on it too.
And I tell you, we have the white rage tails.
Yeah, that'll be perfect.
That's perfect for that.
Dip them in a little garlic chartreuse.
Put a little color on the tail.
You know, why not?
And then maybe dip the skirt, just the white part.
I'm
just the
bluegill
tip.
colored stuff freak. I think these are absolutely just.
Well, those are the ones that I caught fish on tonight, and I'll post those pictures to Instagram. So, but yeah, I caught great fish on it, man. Great fish on it.
So welcome back. It was fun, buddy.
It was, man. I needed that, gosh, because again, like you guys will see earlier in the video, man, I'm wrecked. I'm tired, so tired right now. But yeah, I only caught 4 fish the whole time we were down there. But again, it's just, you see some guys out there, and you can tell right off the bat, all right, these guys don't get to do this that often.
You missed bites for the right reason.
I did.
We'll put it that way.
And well, the bite really wasn't on, but I didn't throw out cut bait and catch catfish, because you could tell those dudes that just, I was there with a rod and reel in my hand the entire time. So 4 days, when I got back Monday, I guess yesterday, when we worked, my hands were just sore from just holding and cranking the entire weekend. But then we had a guy out there that works for us in Tennessee, and he had just
time of his life.
Time of his life. I mean, he didn't do anything but sit out there unless we were doing something as a group. If we were eating, playing cards, or hanging out. He was down there by himself. And so when I'd catch him, I'd run down there with him and just hang out. And I'd throw, I'd flip to the other dock, like I was telling you, the neighbor that was to the left of us. I'd grab the lures with the elite, the Texas rig. I'd put the elite, what was that, the June bug crawl? The one that I caught the red on. And I'm flipping that one. And just for practice. And Ronnie's out there, so every time he hooks into a fish, I come over and take it off the hook for him. And because catfish, he wasn't sure how to hold them.
If you don't know,
but man, I got so much pleasure out of helping him and just seeing the smile on his face every time that rod started bending. That was freaking-tastic.
That's another part of the reason of why we're doing what we're doing. We want other people to get.
That's it.
What we get.
This is for shits and giggles. This is for shits and giggles. The little bit of knowledge that we have and that we learn every day, we try to pass on. We have the means to go out and try new lures and reels. And so if you're on the fence about something, we were for a long time, but yours truly here did a lot of research, and I mean 3 years worth of research, and it led us to where we're at. So and then again, Instagram, guys, check out anytime that you see an ad come over for someone, like whatever, if it's what they'll normally do is they'll just show you their product, and if you see it, don't scroll past it, click on it. You can tell if it's clickbait, you can tell if it's a genuine bait maker. Read the comments.
Yeah.
Okay? That's what we do. We're not going to lie. Even if Mr. Hicks sees us, we read the comments, we go to their page, we check out their the pictures, we check out the followers, we insta creep just to make sure things are legit, seriously.
Right.
But you find stuff like this when you go to the store during a time like this and you can't find the lures that used to always be there. Then you find guys like JHicksJiggs in Michigan, and it's like, this can't be real. I need 2 of each.
Yeah.
He actually sent me another message back to confirm, just so I'm straight. You want 20 of them? Yes, sir. I need 2 of each color. I need 10 of the jigs, and I 10 of the bladed jigs. So that's 2 of each color, and that's 2 of each style. And man, because you could tell on Instagram these things. I mean, just
well done. Just well done.
I mean, it's awesome. So,
yeah, nice.
But that's what we're trying to do for you guys, for all 27 of y'all that are watching us right now. And thank you for
more
that.
watch. It's just however many are subscribed or not. We appreciate all y'all.
Yeah, we do. So. And I'm just goofing around just because I know how YouTube goes. And again, this is just fun for us. It's just something to do with the fishing that we do and off the water and that kind of thing. But it's also a way for us to help. I'm not gonna name drop, but like
my buddy from work. It's also our way to just pass on what little bit of knowledge we have to guys like that can go, man, that's easy. Because you may not think about going to Walmart and finding, and I need to show that Red Max, and you need to show some of the rods and reels that we started with.
Yeah.
When Hook and Heritage was mentioned on that very John boat we're fishing from now, 3 years ago at Jack's Pond, we need to show them what we were catching fish on then, because we were slaying them then.
Mm-hmm.
We were experimenting with lures that were less than $5 a piece.
Right.
You know,
now look at us.
And still killing fish. So for those of you out there that are on that crazy of a budget, save up until you can go find the right rod and reel setup, and then your lure choice after that is endless.
Mm-hmm.
You go to any store, and on that bottom shelf they've got, I mean, and the color patterns, they're not going to be super crazy detailed, but fancy lures catch fishermen, not fish. You get the right color pattern, the right conditions, you're gonna catch fish. Do not be intimidated by all of the selection. We are going for the next bucket mouth. That's where we've changed from the hobby of it to the sport of it. We have a couple hanging on the wall that we are still very, very proud of. I've caught one bigger than that. Bo's caught one bigger than the one up there. And we need a bigger one.
Mm-hmm.
That's just it.
It'll never change.
So we're now in the chase of it. So instead of being out in the woods with a gun and a blind saying, I got to get that 12-pointer, I got to get that 10-pounder.
Yeah.
Because I'm not going to shoot it.
No, she'll go back.
She'll go right back in the water.
We just want a
She
photo
sure
op.
will. I just want a picture with her. That's it. I just want a picture and maybe
Take
kiss her on the
measurements
cheek.
a little bit, you know.
That's it.
Yep.
So, yeah, and see, again, before we got into the sports side of it, unfortunately, those two girls up there
Are actually
are
right
the
there.
actual fish.
Mm-hmm.
And we feel quite shitty about that, to be honest with you, because we didn't realize that the taxidermist could just take measurements, or you could take measurements and pass it along to the taxidermist in pictures, and they can create you a replica.
And you don't pull that DNA out of the
And
pool.
you don't pull that gene pool out of the water.
Mm-hmm.
So from now on, or from the time that we switched from the hobby side of it to the sports side of it, and we learned that, it's been CPR since. It's been catch, picture, release. And that's what you gotta, if you want big fish to stay in the water you're fishing,
You want someone
then
else to experience what you
gotta,
felt
or
that
if
day.
you want to catch another one day, you gotta leave them in the
Put
water.
them back, man.
You gotta leave them in the water. There's plenty of other ones in there that you can pull out, take home, fillet up, and eat.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So anyway, you guys, we love y'all very, very much. We're great. We don't know you, but I mean, you know, we love you anyway.